So I've heard many a person claim that Godly actually came out on top in his debate against Gizbob. And today this video seeks to actually reach the truth of the matter, the meat and potatoes of who actually won within this debate, within this conflict, within this dialogue, and who is the superior fiction debater between these two. With that being said, let us begin the video and begin the analysis. Oh wow.
So, no, I'd be the second
no, because he's not hurt. I don't see why his actions hurt her. Like him, okay, if he won in this instance, she would still get hurt. So without hurting her means he has to be doing something like himself to be hurting her, and I think that's just
again, it'd be a result of his actions. Like for example, if I drop like a dumbbell on somebody's fucking foot and I hurt them, obviously it's a result of my actions. It's not like I directly injured them, but it's just a consequence of one of my actions. So we would still say I hurt them.
Wait, hold on. So, Godly thinks that if I drop a dumbbell on your foot by accident, that counts as me directly hurting you, rather than it being a result by accident. I mean, usually whenever people say that something is a result of your actions, they're talking about whether or not you did this sort of action intentionally. I don't think anyone would say that, for example, I directly caused you harm in like the usual sense, right? If I say did something to you by accident, I think what they'd mostly be talking about is something you did maliciously, but yeah.
Literally is you directly hurting them.
Oh wow.
That's directly hurting them? By accidentally dropping something on somebody, that's directly hurting them?
But it also depends on what's it called. It also depends on the sort of semantics you have by direct. If you just mean by direct some like arbitrarily close, like, or these two things are arbitrarily close to you in some causal chain which results in somebody getting hurt, then maybe. But that seems to have like lots of arbitrariness issues compared to just saying that it just depends on whether or not you intentionally wanted to do it or not. But yeah,
you're doing the action that
it's indirect insofar as a chain of events. Again, let's say Killua just runs off and then runs into a wall.
Wait, that's fine. So if he runs off away from her, I don't see why he'd say he's hurting her.
Wait, okay, so I think now Godly's just conceded that, okay, it's indirect. Like, so whatever sort of harm that is occurring to Aluka within this chain of events is indirect, insofar as the actions that he's doing are hurting her. Right, but I forget, he said something else there.
Fine, so if he runs off away from her, I don't see why he'd say he's hurting her.
But I already gave you the argument.
Also, I don't see why that's even like an anti-argument. He still thinks he could do it alone.
One, the world is an anti-argument for one, but two, if I hurt you indirectly or I hurt you unintentionally, I still hurt you, right? Like, so obviously if this result of my actions results in you getting hurt, then I still hurt you, like, obviously. So the sort of argument that Godly is making isn't really clicking for me, because like obviously I still hurt you, right? But so I could like make the statement and it would be completely true that, oh yeah, I hurt you, I would hurt you if I ran, even in the situation where I didn't intentionally want to do it. So
I don't see why like he just went right.
He still thinks he could. Yeah, the it in question is either beat Illumi in a race to a blimp that I don't know how far each of them are from, or he could grab somebody out of a car.
Yeah, he could grab somebody out of the back.
He's closer to than Illumi.
So, and then Godly saying that the heart is done to Aluka doesn't matter because he can push 2 goals on his own. Being, at least this is from what Gizbob said, 1 beat Illumi to a race that is at an unknown distance away, to grab someone out of a car before Illumi can. He is closer to it than Illumi. I don't read mid-X mid, I only read peak 0, so I would. Oh my goodness! I wouldn't know whether or not this actually true.
It's impressive. Like all this says is that he runs some unknown amount faster than me.
Wait, no, because the blimp is pretty far away at this point. So if Illumu is faster than me, he should be able to catch up. They don't have.
So okay, Gizbob is saying that at best, gets him to an unknown amount faster than Illumi, and lies that if Illumi were faster, then he should be able to catch up. Okay.
Like
the argument is not that Illumi runs fast. The argument is that Killua is some arbitrary amount faster in running speed than. So he's some arbitrary amount faster.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That's not how arbitrary is used, by the way. But JB does not disagree that Illumi is slower, but that is only running speed, not combat. Okay.
Yeah, and then from there, I know he is like actually way faster because we know Illumi takes a car to get to wherever they're going, and then Killua just runs there.
Since that is way slower. There, okay.
Like
why does that mean he's faster as opposed to Illumi just doesn't want to exert more effort?
Because Illumi's only goal is catching what's her name? Aluka? Yeah, so they literally like.
That's a question bag, but okay. I mean, well, maybe it's not a question bag. Like, at least the sort of argument he's making that its only goal is this, like, or his only goal is to capture Aluka, I assume. That's sort of like already assuming the falsity of Gizbob's own argument within the argument where he's saying that, oh yeah, no, he has only one goal, whereas Gizbob is saying that, he has all of these background goals, such as not exerting extra effort. And like, oh my goodness. And it just seems as if like Godley's just assuming that argument or claim is false within his argument for no reason.
Okay, but if the car is A, sufficient enough to catch up to Aluka, which it is, and B, costs less energy to do so, then it is. They just catch up.
Okay. Gizbob is saying that admitting to use that car not to speed because it is sufficient to catch Aluka and Illumi. GB disagrees. Okay.
Yeah, they catch up to him.
There's no way. These inverse controls are actually ruining my life.
The car shit. I don't know. That's the argument.
I don't even know what you're speaking in reference to. Then that doesn't really make any sense. What part are you talking about?
So they caught up to them because they knew where the blimp was going. That's a spy thing. I don't see why the car thing like correlates to that.
Okay, so the car was sufficient in context to catching up.
I don't know if that's the case because that's only after they.
So wait, Godley like concedes that the car is sufficient enough to catch up and accomplish the goal that Illumi has, but it's only insufficient insofar as they have a spy who's working for. Oh my goodness! They have a spy who's working for them on the inside, right, to tell them the information. But then, doesn't that just work against his argument? Like, why would I willingly, or why would Illumi willingly go out and run after him when he already has foreknowledge? And he can also accomplish it just using a car. Like, maybe you can say, okay, the car on its own simpliciter isn't sufficient in the sense that the car just isn't fast enough. But in context, the car can accomplish all of the goals that Illumi has, right? Because of the fact that he has foreknowledge, and because of the foreknowledge he has, right? Because of the foreknowledge that he has on the situation, he doesn't actually need to exert lots of effort. But yeah.
You don't know if that's the case, but he did catch up.
Oh wait, no, it's not the case. Yeah, so they can catch up. So if I'm running from you and then I choose to take the train and you catch up to the train, that doesn't mean like you were sufficient enough. That means I had a change of plans, so you did this thing. But we know that.
Yeah, but okay, the distinction there is that it's sufficient in conjunction with something else. And that's the sort of argument that Gizbob is making. That like the car is sufficient insofar as it can accomplish its goals with all of these background data being taken into account, and the background data will just be that that he already knows what's going on due to him having a spy on the inside.
Wait. I don't know if. Wait, so is there any proof that he knew the plans?
It's literally just data that he could see what was going on through the.
He can see what was going on. Why was the plan? Wait, why was his plan verbalized?
Wait, okay, hold on.
Wait, the plans. So you did that up to the train. So they can catch up. So if I'm running from you and then I choose to take the train and you catch up to the train, that doesn't mean like you were sufficient enough. That means I had a change of plans. So you did this thing. But we know that. Wait. I don't know if. Wait. So is there any proof that he knew the plans?
Wait, hold on. Isn't this just like okay? Hold on. So the only reason he could catch up is due to plans that Godly is questioning if he even knows. Is that the argument? That like okay, well maybe it's the only reason why he could catch up is due to the plans, but for him to be able to catch up due to the plans, he would need to know the plans, right? So saying that it's only insofar as the plans that he has that he's able to catch up would sort of assume that he knows the plans in the first place, unless he's somehow able to access knowledge or access like pieces of information he doesn't know about. I still doesn't know. Yeah.
It's literally just data that he could see what was going on through the.
He can see what was going on. Why was the plan? Wait, why was his plan verbalized?
Whose plan?
He literally thought there was a spy among them. He literally thought there was a spy among them from the start.
Who thought there was a spy among who?
Killua does, but he thinks
this is completely irrelevant, right? Like, okay, even if Killua thinks there's a spy among them, right? Does it really matter, right? Like, because if God is granting that the reason why he could catch up is due to the plans that they said before, right? That's the reason why he could catch up. Then, like, okay, literally, because it just seems as if he's in a bit of a bind. If God is saying that what's it called? The reason why he could catch up is due to the plans, then obviously he doesn't need to like exert lots of effort because he already knows the plans that which allows him to catch up to him. But if he does not know the plans, and then it would just mean that the car is sufficient on its own, which would still further Gizbob's point. So I'm not like actually seeing where the connection here is.
Thinks it's someone else.
Okay, which
yeah. So okay, if he thought there was so why would he reveal his plans to them?
Like he believed the spy to be somebody else. That's why he revealed the plan to the actual spy, because he believed the spy to be somebody else.
No, but the spy was also with them.
So he thinks there's a spy. Oh my goodness, that's so lucky. So if he thinks there's a spy, we know he revealed his plans, and we know that he revealed the plans to the spy, but maybe he didn't verbalize his plans to the to some of the people who were there, except the spy. But that doesn't like particularly matter, because if like for Illumi to be able to catch up due to the plans, due to like him knowing the plans, then the plan needed to be verbalized. Like it just seems as if like God is arguing against Killua knowing the plans, which would be counterproductive to his own argument, because then that would mean that okay, it isn't sufficient to just in conjunction, but it's also just sufficient on its own, right? Which is again furthers Gizbob's point.
It wasn't one person with him in the car. It was multiple people with him in the car. I don't see why like that argument follows.
You do realize the car that he was in drove to like the blimp, presumably, right? Like I don't really remember the sequence of events. So I'm kind of confused as to what the argument is.
So okay, he starts off by running and then later gets in a blimp. I'm saying, where is the correlation between him running initially and then getting in a blimp?
I don't.
Look, hold on. Like, I locked in to play the game for like 2 seconds and I'm completely zoned out.
I remember the sequence of events. So I'm kind of confused as to what the argument is.
So okay, he starts off by running and then later gets in a blimp. I'm saying, where is the correlation between him running initially and then getting in a blimp?
I don't. Then what are you talking about with the car? There being people in the car? Like I don't.
So initially there were
how many chapters is this like?
Killua takes off and outspeeds the car. Illumi still stays in the car to chase him.
Did I not just do this?
Everyone's in a car. Killua leaves the car.
Yeah.
He knows he's being followed by the one maid, right?
Which maid?
The old motorcycle one, the one that actually is the spy.
I'm pretty sure he doesn't know.
I'm almost certain he does. I'll just read through the chapters right now. I'm pretty sure he literally sees her following him.
I'm pretty sure he doesn't.
He's saying he's reading through the chapters, but I don't know what chapter it is.
Going to the chapters too.
PM. Give me the block pop, baby. Give me the block pop, baby. No too shotgun.
Also, I think that previous point lends credence to this point. Yo, could you unmute?
What previous point lends credence to what point? Also, yeah, he definitely does. He literally like
an agreement on Killua being faster. I think it lends credence.
Him being some arbitrary level higher in running speed means that there's zero correlation between him being some arbitrary level faster and him being much faster.
There is some correlation because we know like
what is the correlation?
So there has to be a reason for this thing, and I'm saying if we know he's faster, then that's like a very blatant reason. The whole like I don't
there
know.
There has to be a reason for what thing?
For him not chasing him on foot. So lost.
For him not chasing him,
Yeah, Gizbob already gave a reason for one. And two, this just sounds a bit like, I don't know, maybe if I'm like tweaking, but this just sounds a bit like God of the Gaps. Where it's just like saying that, oh yeah, well, it's this specific explanation. Without giving any like proper explanation. Like maybe, sure, you can fit it in by virtue of, why isn't it letting me click the damn, okay, never mind. But maybe you can fit it in by virtue of like just saying that, oh yeah, if he's like faster, he's probably more faster. But if there's no sort of substantiation for that, then it just seems as if you're just throwing in a hypothesis to account for the information without giving us any like good reason to actually believe the hypothesis in the first place. But yeah.
You like that? What did you say?
Not like out, boy.
Holy shit, my Wi-Fi is garbage. Wait, can you hear me?
So you later.
I was saying I gave you an alternative.
Also, yeah, Gizbob did give an alternative, which is just that he does not want to expend effort, and also he does not want to expend effort when the like means he already has are already sufficient in accomplishing it. So the lend credence stuff just doesn't matter.
So I don't know where that leaves us.
You gave an alternative that like he was exhausted, but that kind of like
no, it's not that he was exhausted. It's that it saved.
No, my bad. He didn't. Yeah, he didn't want to waste his energy. So I'm saying like that interpretation applies like a whole lot of, I guess, like necessary factors within it. Mine doesn't really. Mine actually only
what necessary factors
only piggybacks on something I already knew. Yeah. So for one, he's gonna have to know his exact plan. For two, he's gonna have to know he can catch up to him on car. Those are.
I mean, well, okay. There's a few things. If he said, and I don't know, like, am I tweaking? But did Godly not say that? Oh my goodness! Did Godly not say that the entire reason why he was able to catch up in the first place was due to the car or due to him knowing the plans? And if that's true, then like he already, some of this he already grants. Right? Godly already grants that like he could only catch up due to the plans. Then he already grants some of this information. So it isn't just information that he doesn't know. It's information that he already does know, right? And information that he himself agrees with, right? But ignoring that, I am failed to see the other assumptions that he's trying to argue for.
Two very blatant factors that you just, I guess, claimed but didn't really justify. So, really should read out with that.
Okay, so the assumption that he can catch up to him, like by car, is the same as the assumption that he cannot catch up to him on
there we go.
foot, which is really weird because he's like also carrying somebody and getting chased. What was the other assumption you said there was? Like the other thing that you think?
That he needs to know his plans.
Wait, hold on. Can you repeat that? That literally didn't make sense to me.
Okay, so the interpretations here. Let's deposit that Illumi knows that he is slower than Killua and can't catch him, regardless of Killua 1 being chased, him knowing where Killua is going, and Killua having to stop at some point, obviously, because like you said, if he actually no. Wait, your previous argument that he was going to hurt Aluka by running at...
I mean, okay, well, Gizbob's just obviously right here. So there's a few things that like Godly's argument assumes. One, it assumes that like he assumes like a lot about the degree of confidence that Illumi has on his ability. Is it gonna move? Okay, that Illumi has on his oh my gosh! That Illumi. Okay, hold on. Sorry. I'm an idiot. No, I'm an idiot. I'm definitely an idiot. So what am I meant to do here? Okay, so if I go over there, I just die. Oh!
At full speed is wrong.
Yeah, but wait, what was I saying? Sorry, but he gives Godly's argument assumes a bunch of things about the degree of confidence that Illumi has on his own abilities, especially within the car. So it assumes a few things. It assumes that one, like even when accounting for the fact that he already knows where he is going, right? Therefore, like that he still feels that he isn't confident in actually being able to intercept him, like before he reaches his location, despite him knowing the location beforehand, which also, by the way, lets him like actually plan out what he's. Yeah, I've lost, haven't I? Yeah, I've lost. Well, which actually lets him like properly be able to determine where he's going, the sort of plan of action he has beforehand, which obviously would make him more efficient in terms of intercepting Killua. He also needs to assume that, like, okay, even while carrying somebody else, which obviously, like, carrying somebody else obviously is heavier than you moving alone, right? And if carrying somebody else is obviously heavier than you doing it alone, that would also mean you're, like, by virtue of that, you're slower. And to make up for that speed difference, that would also mean that Killua needs to use more electricity on himself, which I'm pretty sure isn't it, like, I don't know, like, maybe I'm misremembering Hunter x Hunter, but doesn't, like, Killua's electricity, like, shock people that he's touching, like, it's electricity. So yeah,
just runs at full speed with her in his arms and she doesn't get hurt.
No, I don't know why that's full speed. No, I literally don't know why he runs with her at full speed.
He literally says, even carrying Aluka, I'm going speed. He just says it verbatim.
Yeah, but that would just be the full speed that he's able to access at the moment. But I'm not even sure if this matters too much, right? Because if like Godly, like assuming Godly wins this, and Godly now says that, okay, well, what's it called, that now Killua has this contingent factor which is nerfing his full speed, meaning that, like, okay, well, he's carrying Aluka, right? So it's enough to his full speed because he can't go all out, right? Then that would mean that, okay, well, now we have all of these additional factors, right, which would increase the degree of confidence that Illumi has, that he doesn't particularly need to like run on his own and go full speed in a car, right, to reach her, reach him, I should say, because there's all of these, like, nerfing factors that Killua has, which should make it easier. So, oh my goodness! So with all of that said, you see, like, he just raises the credences I have for Gizbob's argument.
Come on, even carrying Aluka, I'm going full speed into the woods. But yeah, so obviously he's saying, like, even though I'm doing this thing, I'm going, like, the fullest speed I can. I don't think she should be able to stop
That's not what the statement says.
So, like, he's saying he still thinks he should be faster than her. That's not really a debunk.
No, it is. So the debunk here is just going to be that him running at full speed while holding Aluka doesn't actually hurt Aluka, which is what you proposed would hurt her previously.
No, you're not getting it. I'm saying he's just saying, like, even though I'm doing this, I still don't think she should be able to catch up.
Oh.
So okay, it's like this. If I think even when I'm with one arm broken, I'm weaker than you, and I say, like, even though one arm's broken, I'm going, like, full strength. How the fuck are you keeping up? Like, sure, I can be going. That doesn't mean I'm going, like, my absolute fullest strength. That just means within these conditions, I'm going full strength. I'm surprised on why you're able to keep up.
This condition is present in both scenarios. So,
Godly is obviously correct. Godly is obviously correct here, like, the sort of point that Gizbob making. I'm not particularly sure, for one, why he's making it, right? But I'm not particularly sure, like, why he's actually arguing this, for one. Like, I'm speaking on Gizbob, I'm not sure why he's arguing about this. He doesn't need to argue about this, so I'm not sure why he's arguing it. And two, it's just obvious that, like, whenever if I have this, like, factor which is making me, it's like, look at Gun whenever he fought Johan and he had only one arm, right, and he's, like, swinging it as if it's normal, right, but just because he's swinging it as if it's normal in the sense that he's ignoring the sort of injuries he has does not suddenly mean that he's at full power, contrary to what a lot of, like, glazers like to think about Johan. The guy's a bum anyways, but yeah.
He's in the car, he's holding her.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's
fine. So he's saying, how is he able to catch? Yeah, so he's just saying he's still surprised she's able to catch up. I don't see where like the distinction.
Yeah, the reason why she's surprised, or the reason why he's surprised that she's able to catch up, is because he's going full speed while holding Aluka, which is something that you previously argued would hurt Aluka.
No. I don't think that hurts Aluka. I think he's going full speed while holding Aluka. He's not going his absolute fullest speed.
Yes, but in the other hypothetical, he also has to be holding Aluka.
Yes, but I'm saying his full speed is two separate things in this scenario. I'm saying what I'm talking about is his absolute fullest. What he's talking about is his conditional fullest.
Wait, so Godly thinks that whenever Killua goes all out while holding Aluka, that he would hurt her, as he said before. I think maybe, like, what happened to my level devil? Anyways, but so okay, presumably from what's been said, Godly thinks that that him going I thought the button was going to move, but Godly thinks that like Killua going all out while holding Aluka would hurt her. Right? Aren't the Zoldyck supposed to have like electricity? I don't know. But yeah, and him holding Aluka would hurt her. But if it's just impossible for him to go all out while holding Aluka, then like I'm confused. Like, why would he be afraid of going all out like while carrying her if it's just impossible for him to use his full strength while carrying her? Anyways, regardless. But yeah.
So under the condition that he has to hurt Aluka and he can't hurt Aluka, right? Then yes, I agree that he can be going his full.
Okay, so you agree is the fastest he can go while holding on to Aluka?
Pragmatically, yes, but I don't think it's like because obviously he's not going to try to hurt her. So yes, pragmatically, I agree. I don't see why it's the case.
Okay, so you take this to mean this is his full speed while going slow enough to not hurt her.
Yes.
Okay, that's just an added assumption. I get it. It's just inherently less likely. That's fine.
Indeed.
I don't see why it's inherently okay. Sure. If you think that it doesn't,
I mean, it doesn't particularly matter. Like, okay, if you give like some form of substantiation for the extra claim you're making, right? Like, it doesn't particularly like. Imagine I said to you that like you or anybody, right? That okay, it's likely that it's likely that rain and dogs will fall out of the sky today. And the reason why it's likely that it's rain and dogs rather than just dogs on their own is because of the fact that it accounts for more data, right? Oh no, it's because of the fact that what's it called? That accounts for more things which could possibly fall out of the sky. Like, sure, maybe I gave you a reason, right? Like, maybe the reason is just extremely weak, and I don't think it has any sort of a major bearing on whether or not it should be considered like probability wise. Like, it would need to be some like reason which is like absolutely overwhelming, like overwhelming, where like the initial hypothesis couldn't account for nearly as much data, right? But that doesn't seem to be the case with this discussion. It doesn't seem as if like there's some like piece of data that like Gizbob's theory can't account for, right? If you were to, how do I beat this level? If you were to say that okay, this is impossible. But if you were to say that it's literally just his full speed without the added assumption of Aluka.
Follow, even though I'm using corroboration, then sure, I guess, but I don't see why the argument's there. Also, like
he didn't even give corroboration in the like manner that he's speaking of. Like, the way he's speaking of corroboration, you'd like think that okay, maybe he's saying that like okay, well, I gave reason as to why likely this would hurt Aluka, or likely it's both. That isn't what he said. Right, the sort of justification he gave specifically was justification that the statements that Killua makes could also be inclusive of him holding back for Aluka's sake, right? And that isn't justification as to why he is actually holding back, or like as to why both of these factors are present. It's justification specifically that the terms being used could also like lead to the conclusion that he's going for, not that the conclusion he's going for actually like has any sort of evidence for any sort of grounding. But yeah,
added assumption. I gave you like a full analogy where it'd be present, and it's just what we would assume to be the case. Literally, if you have a condition that holds you back, it isn't an added assumption. You take it to normally be the case.
that assumes
the
that
condition is what's in question.
Yeah, that assumes that.
As if that condition holds him back.
Yeah.
Like, as in, if he would hurt her by running. That's what's in question.
His ability goes through electricity, so it makes sense to a static.
There we go.
We know members of his family were trained to have resistance to electricity.
Keep in mind, this is... Did I just get moved against my own will? Sorry, but this is still wholly irrelevant because it just seems like, at least from what I've watched so far, that Godly is just giving continuous motivation as to why, like, Illumi would just have extremely good reason to not go all out in terms of running whenever he's trying to catch Killua, because one, he knows where like Killua is going, right? Whereas Killua, like, he knows the end goal of where Killua is going, so he also has more time to like figure out the best course of action. Whereas Killua needs to figure out the best course of action in the moment, giving him less time, right? For one. Two, Killua is forced to hold back for Alluka's sake, right? Illumi is not. Three, oh my gosh. Killua is forced to hold back for Alluka's sake. Illumi is not, right? And three, like, obviously, Killua, I forgot the third one, I'm not even gonna lie. Oh yeah, well, no, I forgot, sorry.
Like,
yeah, we know Alluka's not a combatant at all.
But they're trained from when they're kids, like before it's decided whether or not they're a combatant.
Yeah, I'm saying, no, I see that for him. I don't know why that's the case for her. We literally know.
That's just like arbitrary, no? Like, isn't that just like completely arbitrary stuff? Like, okay, yeah, they train him like before they decide whether or not he's a combatant, but they don't train her. It's like, okay, but why would they train him and not her? Isaac Chim, sorry.
Every member of the family.
I don't know if it's true of every single member of the family.
All the ones that are assassins, yeah, he says it's their standard, like, assassin training. It's quite literally.
Could you send that for one?
Yeah, I'll see if I can find it.
Oh, he was.
I'll actually just send you something.
Go, Lazo.
Says physically, Alluka's a normal kid. So no, I was right. You were wrong.
Why does he say like that?
She's a normal kid, and so far as her ability, that's fine. It doesn't speak in reference to resistances. It's like entirely different.
I don't know. Wait, I don't know why it's the case. If they're training her in assassin business, I don't see why they wouldn't train her in durability. That kind of follows.
They didn't train her in that at all. They train you like.
Yeah, no, I don't see why she couldn't train her physically. Yeah, okay.
I mean, well, is Killua shown to like have been trained physically? How? Okay. Is Killua hasn't been shown, for at least from the information they've given. It's not as if Killua has been shown to be training his physicals. Rather, the only thing that's been shown is like training his nen. But also, no, more importantly, doesn't Killua have like this really rotund brother? And if Killua has this really rotund brother, he's like gigantic and pudgy, right? And he was also trained. Then it's likely that the sort of training that they're doing isn't the sort of training where like it concludes in you being physically competent, or concludes in you being like stronger than the average person. Rather, you just have a different like a lot of resistances, because aren't the resistances supposed to be like due to like to resist torture, bro? Like, obviously, if you are extremely durable, it makes them more likely to do serious harm to you because of the fact that like you're physically far superior than a regular person is. Alright, how? Please, yeah.
But I don't think physically Alluka would be a normal kid if she was trained to be an assassin. We see Killua was not.
No, it isn't that she's trained to be an assassin. Like, that isn't what Gizbob said.
Got further into the
Yeah, that isn't what Gizbob said. Gizbob didn't say she's trained to be an assassin, because they are trained to be, or what's it called? They are trained specifically before it's even decided whether or not they will be assassins, right? So if they're trained before it's decided whether or not they will be assassins, then calling it assassins training is like, one, just like not the correct label, but two, it's kind of like there's no good reason for them to train her like in physical capabilities, which would be necessary to be an assassin, right? If she's just my ego is telling me that I could get a go for that, but like if she literally just does not require them because they haven't decided whether or not she's going to be an assassin.
His wife, I don't know. It stated he took on the Heaven's Arena when he was.
Also, wait, you think the electricity is what's hurting Alluka in the hypothetical?
Yeah. We already
He's
argued
literally
over
just
that.
holding on to her in Godspeed in the panel I sent. So,
Okay,
like,
cool,
obviously,
cool. That's not a debunk. That's not it. Okay, sure.
Yeah, that obviously is a debunk. No, like, okay, if he's coated in electricity, and he's coated in electricity, and he's holding Oluka, and Oluka is not responding or not responding or getting hurt at all, then she needs at least some resistance to electricity, unless she would just be reacting like a regular person would in response to the lightning or in response to the electricity. But the fact that she isn't responding at all, or I'm pretty sure there is a statement. I'm not sure. I don't read mid. Like, there is a statement that says, oh well, she feels a little bit tingly, shows that she is at least above like a regular human being. Whenever they are indexing it to specifically her resistance to electricity. So Gizbob right here again.
If you think that's a debunk, that's fine. We can move on, bro. Like, what?
Why is he moving on?
Alright, so anyway, what's your debunk to this? Or do you also think you won the whole, like, even carrying Oluka and going full speed shit?
What's my debunk to what? What are you speaking in reference to?
No, I'm saying, do you think you sufficiently justified the whole, like, extra condition shit for the even carrying Oluka and going full speed?
Yeah, I feel like that's all we need to talk about there. Even if that goes through, like, where do you think that gets you? Killua's again? Like, what was the justification for him being significantly faster as opposed to just some arbitrary level faster?
He should be way faster than Carr at this point, and we know that, what's his face is in Illumi.
He should be way faster than a car?
Yeah.
That circles back to the initial thing.
Okay, you think he should be way faster than a car? That's it? So it's all kind of relying on, like, the reason why Illumi's...
Yeah, it's relying on the reason Illumi's in a car. So
yeah.
If you can you sufficiently justify that, then yeah, okay, we don't need to go over that.
Okay.
And then
there is something I need to go over first, and maybe this should just decide, because I'm not watching this for a debate. I'm being so serious. I'm not watching this for a debate, right? But from the impression I got, it doesn't seem as if like one Gizbob really particularly struggled, right? Compared to like how people were speaking of the debate, it wasn't as if like I didn't get this like real impression that okay, well maybe Gizbob might lose this for one, right? Or maybe I'm not tracking because I'm playing this game. And two, what I want to figure out now is what specifically Godly said about, because Godly said specifically the only reason why he was able to catch up to him is due to him knowing the plan. So we're at 13:07 right now, which is odd because I've been speaking about this for 30 minutes, right? But we're at 13:07. Alright, so I'm just gonna write this down. 13:07. I want to see what did Godly say.
What part are you talking about?
So they caught up to them because they knew where the blimp was going. That's a spy thing. I don't see why the car thing like correlates that.
Oh, I'm so precise.
Blimp, that's not the car shit.
Metallica, which it is, and B costs less energy to do so. That it is. They just catch up.
I don't know if it is. Yeah, they catch up to him because of something else. Yeah, that's because of a change in plans. They take a blimp. That's not the car shit. I don't know. That's the argument.
I don't even know what you're speaking in reference to. Then that doesn't really make any sense. What part are you talking about?
So they caught up to them because they knew where the blimp was going. That's a spy thing. I don't see how the car thing like correlates that.
Okay, so the car was sufficient in context to catching up?
I don't know if that's the case because that's only after they changed.
You don't know if that's the case, but they did catch up.
Oh wait, no, it's not the case. Yeah, so they okay.
Hold on, so Godly just says verbatim that the reason why they was able to catch up to them was because they knew where the blimp was going, implying that like for all of the stuff he said earlier about how whether or not Illumi actually knew the plans or knew like what the spy knew, like obviously he does know, right? Like and the reason why he does know is because of the fact that he knows where the blimp is going, right? And so then there's this supposed change in plans, and I assume the change in plans is him going from a car to a blimp. And then the question is, why would he go from a car to a blimp? And I don't know if they really spoke about that within the debate. Why specifically he did I mean I could go and ask Godly, and we can ask Godly, and then we'll see.
Okay, so don't think catch up.
We'll ask Godly, so. after reconvening with Godly and Plutus, it appears that neither of them remember exactly why it was said. Plutus, being the charitable individual he is, said that the reason why could probably just be because it's stated in the series and they didn't feel the need to argue about it. And Godly, and I quote,
So if I'm wrong,
and this is what Godly is saying. So Godly is saying that Gizbob conceded because he says that it's not sufficient because he only catches up because of the blimp. The blimp wasn't something that they knew about, and if it was sufficient, it's sufficient after a change in plans, right? But yeah,
running from you and then I choose to take the train and you catch up to the train, that doesn't mean like you were sufficient enough. That means I had a change of plans. So
but
you did the same.
the issue is, it's like, okay, if he knows about the change in plans because he has a spy, right? Like, or the spy causes him to, the spy like tells like Illumi where he's going. Therefore, since the spy tells Illumi where he's or where exactly he's going, then he also like, yeah, it still helps Gizbob's point regardless, because Gizbob is just saying that it's like sufficient in conjunction with some other fact, and this other fact just happens to be that there was a change in plans, and the reason why he knows that there was a change in plans is because he has a spy, right? Which which I Godly directly agreed to. Godly just directly agrees that that he knew where he was going. Right, so if he knew where he was going, then boom, like obviously doesn't like credence to the point he's making, right? And if it's just even if we say that he didn't and it was just due to a change in plans, the real question would be, okay, well, how did Illumi know where he went, right? And the reason why he'd know where he went again would just be due to the spy, right? Or like, especially after the change in plans, by the way. Like, if he has a change in plans and Illumi still knows where he went, the only way that could be true is due to like him knowing about where he's going beforehand, right? And him knowing about where he's going beforehand could only be true like if he had a spy, which is further incentive. So yeah, like I just don't know if there's any way that he won this point, but yeah.
We know that efficiency is going to be indexed. I don't.
Boo boo fiction debate time. I'm going to watch like maybe 5 more minutes, and then we can come to solid verdict on who won, guys.
Yeah, Gones and Enhance. I don't think Killer scales to him in AP.
Okay, hold on.
And then for AP, we literally just see Gon break Illumi's arm.
Yeah, Gones and Enhance. I don't think Killer scales to him in AP.
Gon's in base.
He's also just physically stronger than Killer is.
He's in base.
Base.
What does that have to do with anything? Like, how does Killer backstaff this?
He doesn't have men. He doesn't have men at this point.
And Illumi's using reinforcement there. Why?
Because it should be on passively. That should be the assumption.
Why? Against non-Nen using combatants, there's literally no... We see Hisoka doesn't even do that against Gon.
I don't know if Hisoka doesn't do that against Gon.
It's stated he doesn't use Nen against Gon in Heaven's Arena.
Do you have that?
Yeah, I'll find it.
And sure, wait, that's not even a debunk. I agree that Hisoka does that to enjoy the fight. I don't see why Illumi's doing it for no reason. He has no, like, condition there that should be met.
There's no condition there that should be met. He just thinks Gon is ass because he doesn't have any Nen.
So he lets his arm get broken. Is that the...
Sure, he can freely heal it with his ability. It's, like, literally of no issue to him.
Yeah, I don't see why he'd go out of his way to let his arm get hurt.
He isn't going out of his way to get his arm get broken. He specifically he thinks this guy is weak because he doesn't have Nen. This guy is stronger than the average guy, right? Therefore, like, you could say he lets his arm get broken in the context of he isn't putting up all of the measures to actually resist his arm get broken. But specifically, he just isn't applying himself completely. So the way Godly is phrasing the argument at hand right now is disingenuous to what actually is going on, the actual train of events that Gizbob's arguing for.
I don't think he's going out of his way to let his arm get broken. I'm just thinking.
We know Zetsu's we know Zetsu's a passive thing, and then we know that if he Gon broke his arm because he had it off apparently. So it doesn't make sense that for one he turned it off for no apparent reason. And then to follow off of that, like another implication that he just like lets his arm get broken when he doesn't need to.
But you said Zetsu is a passive thing?
No. Sorry, the one whatever your defense is.
Wait, Why do you think that's passive?
It's stated it's as easy as breathing, and another guy says that like
that does not mean it's passive.
Like act like normal humans, which means that normally they shouldn't be. Like normally the assumption is that any end user is just gonna be.
Yeah. Okay. Well, send what you're talking about with the act like normal humans, but its ease of use does not speak in reference to being passive or not passive.
Yeah.
There's zero correlation between the two.
There definitely is.
There's a correlation between.
If you're training 10 to be able to use it while asleep, the assumption there is like it should be on, or you're learning to use it passively. Because if you can use it while asleep, while you're not, if you can use it while you're not conscious, and the only thing it does is stop your life energy from flowing, then there literally would be no reason as to why it wouldn't be on passively.
That isn't the thing that stops your life energy from flowing out like entirely different from your defense. Like I looked this up on the Hunter x Hunter wiki, and actually no, because this game is actually rage baiting me. We'll go pull up the Hunter x Hunter wiki, and we're going to actually figure this out the easy way. What is nen use called when used for defense? So 10 is the most basic defensive technique, where a user keeps their aura nodes open but contains the flow of aura within and immediately around their body. It slows the aging process by preventing life force from leaking away. It creates a protective shroud that acts as the primary defense against emotional attacks and offers limited protection against physical attacks. Ken is full body defense, right? And it's more protective than 10. So at best, the sort of argument that he has is that okay, and this can also just function in conjunction with the argument that Gizbob make. Like, if they're referring to 10, we know that he has higher defense. We know that he has higher defense. Then, like, obviously, like he'd still be holding back because he's using his Ken. He's only using his 10, right? So I can't talk till I beat this.
Reasons for why it shouldn't be on. Therefore, we take it to be the case that it is on. That
energy expenditure would be the reason why you don't want it on, because it's literally your life force.
10 doesn't expend energy. Wow. It actually does the opposite. It stops it from leaking.
It stops what from leaking?
Life energy.
It stops your life.
Also, wait. What is 10?
10 is the defensive. 10 is when you circle your aura around yourself. It's the defensive use of nen.
That is not the only defensive use, boy. Why is he lying?
Wait, no, it doesn't. Where do you think it's defensive use of nen? I'm pretty sure it's not the use of nen. I'm pretty sure all it does is stop you from wasting your life energy.
Alright, stated. Seymour or West, could you send the whole like it's defensive shit?
Yeah, sure. I'll be rapping. I just be talking. It's the banter. If he keeps talking, light him up like he's.
Wait, 10 is passive or defensive?
Defensive, not passive. I'm looking for the defense or for the.
Oh, loco, somebody to suck after
the whole like sleeping shit.
Yeah, the sleeping shit would be so that you can use it without thought once activated. I don't think that means it's always active.
No. That's what I agree with. I agree. My argument is like a conditional based off that. But I already sent that. The only way to protect yourself against that is by using nen itself via 10 defense. And then we see that Zetsu, even though way weaker than Killua, is using 10 to just like tank all of Killua's attacks, even though he should be getting shitted on.
Yeah, no, this just says the only way to defend yourself from dying to somebody's aura is by using 10. This doesn't actually say anything about defending yourself in a physical sense.
It's your aura to block your opponent's attack. Otherwise, and then he shows that you can use nen to like cause physical harm. So it should be like.
Do you know what the context for this was?
Yeah, no, but I'm saying he also shows another example. So yes, it can defend you.
Wait, what is the other example?
he uses aura to break a wall right after saying otherwise. So he's saying otherwise they can fuck you up by using superhuman power. I don't know, but we literally don't need to like rationalize it. We know that enhancers. We know that enhancers can like have superhuman power. How do you think you defend against that?
Using enhancers can have super by amping your own stats with Ren.
It's 10.
Ren? Is that Ren?
No, that's what's in question. But that's why I'm going to look
up. It's Ken. These guys are confused.
I'll give it
Cliff.
to you. It
was chapter 47.
Yeah. Damn. How the fuck you found that?
I reverse searched real fast.
It's Ken. These guys have never looked into the wiki once.
47. I know this is speaking of reference. This is when they emits aura at them and they like can't walk past them, right?
Yeah. So he's saying like he's saying Nen itself is just destructive to the body, like it can cause harm, and then he shows like what happens when you apply it on like something, and it just like breaks the wall. So it like he's saying otherwise your body ends up shattered, and he's using the wall as an example by using Nen to fuck up the wall.
He's saying otherwise your body ends up shattered.
Yeah, it's physical application.
What do you mean by its physical application? I agree that it can have physical results, but I don't think this is like purely physical attack. I think it's like an energy-based attack, which is like demonstrably just what it is.
No, you're not getting it. I'm saying it has like physical implications, and he uses those physical implications to show what's going to happen.
Yeah, I think the physical implication is just index the result.
In what sense?
The result of you die if you just get hit by something.
Oh yeah, that's fine. So that's fine. So he's showing that it like grants measurable power, and you need tender to block it. So
yeah, why is this correspondent to force output?
Yeah, Gizbob's just saying, look, like, even though Gizbob's like obviously incorrect here, like by the way, like no, both of them are incorrect because it's 10 low tiers, not Ken or Ren. Wait, hold on, sorry, did I get it wrong? Give me a second. It's Ken low tiers, sorry. So obviously, like the thing that they're using specifically in this context, it would need to be Ken. But all Gizbob is saying that yes, the demonstration isn't meant to show that like it will defend you from Nen's force output. Rather, the demonstration is supposed to display to you specifically that what's it called? Damn. What was I going to say? Display to you that you will die basically if you don't defend yourself from it. Which also makes sense. It defends you from emotional attacks. It could also defend you from like Nen-based attacks, which not all of them like are required to be physical, right? They do not all need to be physical, like or like apply force for them to be effective, which lends credence to the J-Bob's point.
So it's like he's saying,
show them what would happen to their body.
Yeah, that's fine. So he's using a Nen attack to show them what would happen to their body, and he's showing the physical implications of it, that it can also extremely fuck you up.
Teabagging.
Just by how
powerful. You can get fucked up external to force out.
Also, could someone send what's his face using 10 to stop all of Kilua's attacks, even though Kilua was bitching him?
It's Ken. What's his name?
Zetsu, I think.
It's Ken.
I'm so sorry, could you repeat yourself?
It's Ken.
I was saying, what's it called? Zuchi? Yeah, like I was saying you can get fucked up external to force output, and I was asking, like, I don't think there's like any real justification for this being force output, like aside from there being some results, which again can be correspondent to things that are not force output. That's fine.
Well, it's just showing the physical implications it can have on a body, so if you want to defend against those physical implications, you need like heightened physical strength.
Or but if those implications are derivative of something that's not force output, then it doesn't really matter.
Well, no, he's showing them this example for another reason.
This is just like blatant question begging, but regardless, at least the sort of opinion I have from, let's see what time points this is. The sort of opinion I have from 2110 is that I think that Gizbob was winning. I don't think it was something that was like particularly difficult. So yeah, with that being said, if you like the video, please remember to like and subscribe. This is Shenra, and I'm out.